Alright guys, welcome back to another Epic 7 hero review, and this is a special one because Martial Artist Ken is probably one of my favorite heroes, if not my favorite hero. He was the second ML5 I pulled about a month into the game, got super lucky with that, and he's carried me through PvE, PvP, Guild Wars, everything. So let's go over his skills and I'll tell you why I love him so much. So his S1, very basic. Does a decent amount of damage and has a 50% chance to apply decreased attack, which is very good for him so he doesn't die, and it goes up to 75% with Max Mola. Now his real skill that everyone hates, and I love, is that he has a 30% chance to counter when attacked, and a 100% chance to counter with Dragon Flame if he suffers a critical hit. Dragon Flame always crits, so you don't need to build crit rate on ML Ken because he's going to crit if he's crit anyway, and it deals more damage if ML Ken is low on health. This is an obvious Max Mola. His S3 attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance to defense break when Max Mola'd, and gives him increased attack, which makes him hit really hard, makes him counter really hard. So his kit is very complementary, like he decreases attack to make sure he doesn't die. Anytime he gets hit, he counters, and his S3 gives them decreased defense and increased attack, so his counters hit really hard if they're deep downed, and he has increased attack and he gets a crit counter. It's basically an automatic one-shot. So let's go over how to actually build them. So this is my ML Ken, and basically what you want to do is you can use any set you want. It doesn't really matter. The point is the stats, not the sets. Now the one mandatory thing, don't do anything except Sigurd Scythe. Sigurd Scythe is literally made for ML Ken. There's no reason to use any other artifact because this is how he sustains himself. You can also give him lifesteal set. I would like that if I had good lifesteal gear, but I don't, so I don't use it. But he can sustain himself just by using Sigurd Scythe. Especially when he gets like decreased defense someone and he crit counters them, it's like a 0 to 100% heal. And also Sigurd Scythe makes him do more damage when he has lower life, which complements his S2, which also does the same thing. So the one thing that's mandatory in ML Ken is I highly suggest that you put him on immunity set. Yes, there are Bassars out there and stuff, but he can resist. You always have a 15% chance to resist even without effect resistance, and it'll win you a bunch of matches on defense. It's also very helpful on offense. So sets, I don't really care about. You can see that I'm using immunity, 2 defense, and 2 that don't even match. If I had gear that did match, I would use it, and his stats would be even better, but I just don't have any better gear right now. So basically, there's a lot of different ways people build ML Ken. I kind of built him balanced. So I like having around 3,500 attack, 250 plus crit damage. I don't care about crit chance, actually. Some people do want him with crit, but I don't because I mainly just use him for countering. And you want at least 15,000 life. I like making mine a little beefy. A lot of people like to target like 19k life because then you pretty easily survive cleaves and survive people. But there's 2 schools of thought. Some people like building him extra tanky with like 19k life to survive cleaves. Other people will build like 13,000 life ML Kens, but they hit really hard. They'll have like 4,500 attack, 300 crit damage. So when they do counter, they basically one-shot Judge Kiseis even through fallen CC barriers and stuff. But it's very risky, and he'll get blown up by like a single Charles Elbers counter, things like that. But they both kind of work situationally. It just kind of depends on what attacks you. The other build that's popular, or used to be popular, that I disagree with vehemently is the effect resistance build, because really for it to work, you need like 200, 250% effect resistance. And think about it, to get that much effect resistance, you have to sacrifice so many other stats. I ran into some effect resistance ML Kens before, and the thing was, they did so little damage that their Sigurd Scythe couldn't sustain them. So even when they crit you back, you could just slowly kill them, even without unhealable or anything, because they do 0 damage. So maybe some people are still running effect resistance Ken. I strongly advise against it. I don't see it very often. I would say go super, super high attack or medium attack and super tanky. And I kind of did in between. I have like medium tanky, medium attack, mostly because of my gear. If I had better gear, I'd make him lean towards one or the other a little bit more. So let's go ahead and see how he works in PvP. Alright, so let's see the power of ML Ken. Now this is a strong-ass cleave. Attack buff, BBK, and Arbiter Vildred with a Ruzid giving them speed imprint, so they're definitely going to go for... I mean, both these heroes are slow. But we'll see if Troublemaker and ML Ken can 2v4 this. And we're not optimized for Arena, apparently. So we'll go ahead and see if we can take this team out with just 2 people. And let's see what happens. So Ruzid goes... boosts up their whole team. Let's give them all the attack buff. Blip. Now, Arbiter does his thing. And we'll counter him. And then ML Ken will go and finish the job. And now BBK cuts, apparently. Alright, so we'll go ahead and kill that BBK. Troublemaker bites the dust, but he did his job. He protected ML Ken. Ooh, ML Ken survives. Alright, so Arbiter dies again. Let's see what Ruzid does. Ooh, Ruzid bites him. Ruzid bites the dust. And this is the power of Troublemaker and ML Ken. Without Troublemaker, there's no way he would have survived all that burst, but that 40% damage reduction means that ML Ken makes it. And now we start countering Rose, and there you go. Champion defense 2v4. Now obviously this doesn't work against everything because most teams won't just tunnel ML Ken, but still, that's the power of ML Ken counters. So, we saw a 2v4. How about a 1v4? Can ML Ken kill his mirror plus 3 other people by himself? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's do it. Now I'm going to use a really interesting strategy here again. I'm going to click this auto button, and we're going to let the game decide. So SSB goes first, weirdly fast SSB. Okay, so we'll go ahead and counter her. Now 8-card goes. Crits my ML Ken. He still has immunity up. And there we go. Now the real kicker here is, ideally when my Ken S3s, he shouldn't crit their ML Ken, and I'll be fine. My ML Ken's crit rate is only 40%, I believe, so pretty good chance. BBK crits my ML Ken. BBK's out of the picture. That's 1 down, 3 to go. Their ML Ken goes. Doesn't crit my ML Ken. Now my ML Ken goes. Hopefully I return the favor and don't crit him. I don't crit their ML Ken. Perfect. A-Cart crits my ML Ken. He's out of the picture. Ooh. SSB crits my ML Ken. She's out of the picture. Ooh, that's unfortunate. I didn't crit him. Oh, but it doesn't matter. And there we go. ML Ken 1v4'd a champion defense easily. Well, so let's see what the rest of the team did. Well, it looks like ML Ken did 100% of everything, so did more damage than their whole team, and look how much healing he had. This is his ability to self-sustain. He healed himself for 27,000 HP that fight, and if you see here, 5,031, this is champion tier, so against certain defenses, ML Ken is just a total boss. Alright, so let's wrap this video up. I mean, you guys already know that he's one of my favorite heroes. I mean, obviously you've been subscribed to this channel, right? Because it's the best channel in the world. So you know that since the beginning, I've been using ML Ken all over the place. Arena, Guild Wars, PvE, and he's just the bomb. Like, he was on a Mystic rotation last banner. If you didn't get him, feel bad for you because he really is just that good. On offense, depending on what you attack, he can single-handedly beat a lot of defenses if they don't have a good answer to him. And the thing is, when you put him on defense, he's not as good, but it forces the attacker to come up with a solution to him, whether it's a one-shotter like a Surmia or a Watcher Shuri, or a barrier to protect a Judge Kisei. It forces the attacker to change his strategy simply because he exists. The same way that Arbiter Vildred forces you to change your cleave just by existing, if you don't have an extra turn mechanic or some way to get around MLDB. So basically, I mean, if I could give him a rating, I'd give him like a 10 out of 10. I mean, he's amazing. Obviously, he's not invincible or anything. He does have counters, but still, the fact that he's good in PvP and also is really good at like dog walking, even though it's slow, but against boss levels, that's another thing. Against like bosses, Arbiter Vildred actually doesn't work sometimes because the boss will apply a bunch of debuffs and kill him. ML Ken can pretty much solo any boss in the game that doesn't stun or apply unhealable. So he's also really good at grinding out those hard boss adventure fights that drop epic catalysts. He's perfect for that too. So anyways, I think we could wrap this video up. ML Ken is the bomb. If you have him, congratulations. And make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more reviews in the future. Thanks for watching. Till next time, guys. See you later.